You made a comment about how you was one of the few rappers that never sold their soul. What made you say that?
Cause I know majority of these rappers. Yeah. I know what be going on behind the scenes. I know who not really in control.
Yeah, it's like, man, who is the new street rapper that we could sign that's gonna impact the masses in their city, and we gonna blow them up, and they young, so they don't realize that they being used right now, you heard me? They don't realize it. We're gonna make them rich, and we're gonna get one from every major city, because that way we can make sure that they give birth to a whole bunch of mini-me's that's looking up to them.
You know, a lot of times people be blinded by what they see in these videos and on TV, but I just know, I know what I know, man. You know what I mean?
You've probably heard those late night whispers in barbershops, seen those wild overnight career blow-ups that never quite made sense, watched rappers switch up their whole vibe like somebody flipped a switch. But what if someone who actually lived through that world finally decided to spill it all? That's exactly what just happened. Lil Flip, the Houston icon who stacked millions on his own before the big labels came knocking, just dropped a bombshell that's got the industry shaking. According to him, majority of these rappers have sold their souls, and what they wanted him to do will seriously leave you stunned. Industry insiders didn't just approach him with contracts. They allegedly tried to send people straight to his house for a spiritual cleansing, like some kind of initiation ritual. That's not just a business deal, that's a whole different level of power play. But that's only the beginning. Other artists have started to talk, and what they're revealing about these so-called gatekeepers is on a whole other level. Behind the scenes, the real price of mainstream success isn't just talent or hustle. It's about control, loyalty, and silence. There's a hidden structure running things.
Be going on behind the scenes. I know who not really in control. You know what I mean? I know the real. You know, a lot of times people be blinded by what they see in these videos and on TV, but I just know, I know what I know, man. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that ain't being righteous, and they ain't keeping it infinity, because keeping it 100 ain't enough. That's a limit. You go, with me, you got to keep it infinity. So it's just a lot of people, man, that's just, you know, selling their soul and selling themselves short and distracted with the wrong things. So, you know, it is what it is, man. This industry is a very evil industry. You know what I mean? Like it's very evil, man. So you got to really surround yourself with people that think like you or bigger than you. So it's a nice amount of, I ain't gonna even say nice. It's a lot of rappers that sold their soul, and you know, they let money dictate everything they do. They value money more than they value humans. I ain't participating in no bullshit. If it ain't righteous, I don't want to be a part of it, man. I'm not gonna snake my people, and yeah, I ain't gonna snake my people, and yeah, I can't sell my people out, and I ain't gonna sell myself out. Fame ain't that important, man, for me to just do anything. It's cool. I'm used to the attention.
And regular fans barely see a fraction of it. While everyone's distracted by flashy music videos, messy celebrity feuds, and viral moments, something much darker has been unfolding right under the spotlight. And leading this revelation is none other than Lil Flip himself, the same man who moved over 25 million albums without a major label telling him what to do. His story isn't some random rumor. It's a cold, calculated look at how the modern rap game really works. And it might just change how you look at the industry forever. You've heard the whispers in barbershops, seen careers blow up overnight with no clear reason, watched rappers change their whole style like someone flipped a switch. But what happens when somebody who actually lived it all finally breaks the silence? That's exactly what Lil Flip just did. The Houston legend, who made millions on his own before major labels even tried to lock him down, has dropped a bombshell that's shaken the game. According to Flip, majority of these rappers have sold their souls, and what they wanted from him will leave you speechless. We're not just talking about signing contracts. He says they literally tried to send people to his house for a so-called spiritual cleansing, like some creepy initiation ritual. That's not business as usual.
Once you influence you, then you're an asset to them, right? So once you understand your value position, right? Like you could be an independent guy, putting work in, and get to a point where you're good enough for them to purchase your soul, right? And when you see, there's no artist, let me be clear, there's no artist in this industry that's doing major numbers with these platforms that haven't sold their soul. And when you know what you're looking at and you know how to decipher, you will see it. And the people like the brother right here who has his merch and is doing it out the trunk and direct to consumer, you will never get to that $20 million club without going through certain doors,
So
bro.
now I gotta ask this question.
So E40 didn't do it.
Hold on. No, I gotta ask this question. Do you guys believe that the rappers that are at the top sold their soul?
Yes.
Nope.
Somehow.
Yes.
That's something way deeper and way darker. And he's not the only one talking. Other artists are pulling back the curtain too, and their stories paint a picture of an industry where the gatekeepers run things like a hidden empire. The cost of mainstream success, it isn't just talent or grind, it's silence, submission, and giving up more than fans could ever imagine. While people get caught up in flashy music videos, celebrity scandals, and hype online, the real story is happening in the shadows, where power plays never stop. And right at the center of it is Lil Flip, the same man who sold over 25 million albums with no label controlling him. His revelations aren't wild rumors. They're a raw, first-hand look into what's really running the rap industry today. And it's a truth so shocking, it might just change how you see hip-hop forever. So how do they pick who to go after? It's not random at all. The people pulling strings behind the scenes move with military-level precision. They don't just stumble onto someone. They study their targets like scientists running experiments.
Yes. Industry plans exist. Yes. The music industry will conspire to say what this artist represents is something that we need more of in America. So if it's extreme ignorance, if it's watered down blackness, if it's whiteness that represents being able to be cool and be accepted by black people, whatever it is, we want more of that. So we will do everything in our power to make this person pop off and be a star, to push this agenda. Or we have a vested interest financially in seeing this artist make it. Because not only do we have this artist signed to us, but we manage this artist, and we know that this artist is going to create a whole generation of people just like them. Yeah, they definitely got industry plans. Yes, all of these black artists who ain't even old enough to understand the contract that they about to sign, and who are being signed just because they had one thing that went viral, that they glorifying a bunch of murder and a bunch of just negativity, and all of a sudden they about to get paid millions of dollars. Those are industry plants. The industry knows the impact that those artists will have on the rest of their community. They know it. And they're just like, oh man, we need that person to make it for sure. But if you are representing something positive or something righteous or something intellectual or godly, you absolutely have to do way more work to make the industry say, all right, we're going to let them in. It's like, all right, we're going to let a J. Cole in. We're going to let a Kendrick Lamar in. But we got enough. We got enough of them. You know what I'm saying? We got enough of them. You realize that J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar are two of the richest rappers walking planet Earth today? Two of the most successful rappers? Why would the industry not want more J. Cole's and more Kendrick Lamar's?
Yeah, they don't even floss or anything, bro. You don't see them with jewelry, none of that.
Bro, J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar scare the industry, because if they let more of them in, you're going to have a whole generation of people coming up who are black, who are saying, I ain't even got to flaunt no jewelry, you heard me? I ain't even got to flaunt fancy cars, and I can be intellectual, I can be woke, I can be a man of God.
Or rap about it.
Or rap about that stuff. And if you got a whole generation of black people that's coming up, that's like, man, there wasn't one J. Cole and one Kendrick Lamar. There were a ton of them, and they were all huge. Now, keep in mind, a ton of people exist who are doing the same type of work that Cole and Kendrick are doing, and they're doing that work in their own way. I'm one of the people, you know, and there's a bunch of people that are doing that. But for the mainstream music industry, man, they don't want a bunch of that to exist, bro. Like, it doesn't make sense why you wouldn't want more of that.
Watching every move before striking, they focus in on raw talent trapped in tough situations, keeping tabs for months, like hawks circling their prey. They break everything down: financial struggles, personal drama, emotional weak spots, until they know exactly how to approach. They don't chase every rising star. They specifically zone in on struggling black artists who are stuck between potential and survival, especially those with shaky moral foundations that can be bent under pressure. Why? Because when someone's desperate, they'll agree to things they'd never normally accept. And that's exactly what the system counts on. Think about it. They never ran up on someone like Lil Flip when he was already winning independently. Why would they risk going after someone with money, power, and full creative control? That's a headache they don't need. Instead, they hang around broke artists, people deep in debt, hustling for years without the spotlight, watching their dreams get rejected over and over. By the time they approach, these artists' pride is cracked, their defenses are down, and their hunger makes them easy to sway. It's not just opportunity, it's strategy. The system builds desperation on purpose, then flips it into control. And once these recruiters finally make their move, what they ask from respected artists isn't just shocking. It's the kind of thing that can shatter every bit of trust you've ever had in the entertainment industry. What happened next will seriously change the way you look at the entire entertainment game. When these gatekeepers finally made their move, the requests that came were nothing short of chilling, way beyond anything most people could even imagine. Lil Flip pulled back the curtain on something that sounds straight out of a dark movie, but it happened to him in real life. He revealed that industry operatives actually tried to invade his personal space, his own home, under the disguise of spiritual cleansing. But this wasn't some peaceful religious guidance meant to uplift him. According to Flip, it was way more twisted than that. He says they wanted to bring in their own selected practitioners to perform what he straight up described as demonic rituals inside his house.
No.
Have you ever been approached to do anything out of pocket?
I've been approached to have somebody come to my house and pray. And yeah, like, hey man, this guy, yeah, he's like he gets spirits out, and you know, he wants to come and pray. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I want to continue to pray the way I've been praying. I don't know who he believe in and what he believe in, but he can't come in my house. So, yeah, peace. I kept God in what I got going on. I kept God. I keep God in what I got going on. I don't love money. I talk for myself. I come from a family that programmed me and trained me to be out in this world and out in the streets and knowing how to maneuver. So you can't lure me with no money or nothing like that. Like, meaning like, if I don't want to do the deal, I ain't gonna do the deal. The difference between me and a lot of artists is I started doing music for God. My grandmother played the piano. I was in the church. I sung in the choir. I played the drums, played the piano, sung in the choir for God, went to different churches and sung here and there, right? For God, doing music in the studios, making gospel music, making hip hop. But I started off doing music for God. So I'm not gonna let money dictate every move I make when it comes to music. It's a blessing for me to be able to create. The money is gonna come. So I just pride myself in treating people right, and relationships outlast money. So you treat people right and you move the correct way, you'll have longevity. So for any artist or anybody that's a hater or just a fan or whatever you are, if you feel like some of your favorite artists fell off, sometimes you gotta just go take a trip down there and link up with them and see how they living. Cause I can speak for the artists that's in Texas. We still getting money, we still working, we still touring. We not broadcasting everything we do.
The nerve it takes to approach a successful, independent artist, someone who built his empire without their backing, and tell him he needs their spiritual help is wild. They didn't see him as just an artist. They saw him as a target to be broken down from the inside out. And if that sounds extreme, it's nothing compared to what other artists say they experienced once these people got close. What Flip faced was just the opening act of something way deeper and way darker. The demands didn't just stop, they escalated fast. D1, a conscious rapper known for keeping it real, exposed one of the most disturbing tactics out there. According to him, industry gatekeepers didn't just try to sign him with fancy promises. They literally offered him record deals in exchange for taking part in acts that would strip away his dignity. Not symbolic, not hidden behind metaphors. Actual physical compromise is the price for mainstream success. They waved everything struggling artists dream about right in front of them. Major label contracts, national radio play, mainstream recognition, all tied to doing things that would crush a person's self-respect forever. It's a calculated strategy that only works when someone's hunger for fame outweighs their moral boundaries, when ambition blinds them to what they're giving up, and when the spotlight becomes more important than their own soul. And here's where it gets even more twisted. These aren't one-off horror stories. This is a system built to exploit the desperate. They target vulnerable artists with worse and worse demands, pushing until someone finally gives in. Both Lil Flip and D1 stood their ground and refused to play along. But their stories leave a chilling question hanging in the air. How many said yes? And what happens to those who dare to say no? The retaliation for saying no comes fast.
Depending on what part of the industry you're trying to get access to, there's gatekeepers. So if you're trying to get signed to a major label, there's gatekeepers. If you're trying to get on certain media platforms to get interviewed, there's gatekeepers. If you're trying to get on the mainstream radio, you heard me, urban radio, there's gatekeepers. Yes. On the totem pole of people with integrity and people with morals, values, and principles, these gatekeepers ain't nobody. But in this perverted, sick, twisted industry, these gatekeepers do hold access to certain levels, you know? Bro, I've had gatekeepers in the music industry who have literally tried to hold a record deal behind their back and let me know, like, look, if you're a part of this homosexual act that I'm trying to take part in, you hear me? Yeah, come on, this door open real quick for you. Like, I got a song where I've talked about that before called The Devil's Playground. Like, this is real, dog. And the only way that type of stuff can work on you is if you let them have all the leverage to where you want what's behind that gate that bad. So that's a real thing. You also got people who, this is a different type of gatekeeper. The gatekeepers who will say, hey, you making too much righteous noise right now. If you just tone that righteousness down a little bit, then we'll allow you into these doors. But you got to tone that down. You got to become a little more vanilla, you heard me? A little more lukewarm, a little more bland, and you'll fit in with us more. So that's the slick gatekeeping. It ain't telling you to all the way, you know, bend over or open your mouth or something like that. It ain't that, but it's telling you, like, dim your light. And what ends up happening is you got so many people that's like, well, that's not that bad. They not asking me to do nothing super crazy. I just got to dim my light. That's the scariest kind right there. Because a lot of people will be like, wait, I just got to turn it from level 10 to level 5? Man, bet. I could do that, bro. I bet. Now I get accepted? Cool. Next thing you know, you got a whole industry, brother, that's lukewarm. Whole industry lukewarm. So then when somebody that's on fire come along, they looking at it like, whoa, you crazy. Hold on. You shining too bright. Hold on.
And it's ruthless. In this game, rejection isn't just brushed off. It's punished with precision. Lil Flip laid out exactly what happens when you refuse to play by their twisted rules, and it's brutal. According to him, 99% of industry people are completely fake. They'll smile in your face, promise you the world, then deliver absolutely nothing once you don't fall in line. It doesn't stop there. These gatekeepers don't build genuine connections with artists. Every handshake, every compliment, every opportunity is calculated like a business move. Every promise comes with invisible strings that tighten the second you resist. And when an artist stands their ground and refuses to compromise, the system doesn't just ignore them. It tries to wipe them out completely. We're talking no more radio spins, no label calls, no major media coverage, nothing. They want to make sure you vanish from the public's mind like you never existed.
When you said that 99% of the rappers in the industry is fake?
Yeah, when it comes to artists, yeah, but the people that I've encountered, see, I can't speak on the people that I haven't met. So when I said that I'm speaking on 99% of the artists that I've met, they've done funny and, you know, said they was gonna do this and didn't do that, and then God will put them like right around me, like, you know what I mean? And instead of me being like bitter because somebody promised me, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this for you, I just be like, all right, I just put you in my book as a liar. You know what I mean? Because there's people that'll see you in public. I call it Hollywood talk. Hey, what's up, bro, man? I'm a fan of your music, man. We got to do something, man. Here, take my number. Do you take their number? They don't answer. You know what I mean? They don't answer, but they might do an interview and be like, yeah, Flip is one of my favorite rappers. But then they don't answer their phone. And then when they see you again, it's like they seen a ghost. Hey, man, take my number, man. I know we supposed to do something. It's cool. You offered the verse. I didn't ask you for the verse. You know what I mean? So it's cool, man. People promise you all kind of shit in this industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't deliver. But I'm a solo artist. So I got to depend on me. Everything everybody told me not to do worked for me. So whether a person keep their word about rapping or singing on the song, it's not going to stop me from getting where I need to go. Because I'm going to go put the work in, and I put the work in already.
Yeah, you also mentioned that, you know, you helped a lot of rappers. And once they got on, they went Hollywood on you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, it's one that went super. It's one that went super Hollywood, man. I'm like, damn, bro, you really changed like that, bro. But like I say, man, I was prepared for it, man. I don't be surprised by nothing I see no more in this. So I just take that this face value, man. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, that money shows your true character, man.
Yep, and I'm gonna be the same whether I got it or I don't got it. It don't make me.
Real talk. How you feel about the people that say the Houston rap scene fell off? From your point of view, what happened?
I can't speak on what happened with anybody else's life. I kept doing music.
No, in general.
No, but
the Houston music scene.
No, but what I'm saying, I can't speak on what happened, meaning like, I don't know what other people was doing in their life or whether you want to say the momentum to slow down or whatever. Everybody got their own different situations. Some people left labels. Some people, did tech stuff. Everybody had different reasons for why they did what they did, but
It's a strategy designed to scare others into silence, comply, or disappear. But here's the twist. Their plan is starting to backfire. The very artists they tried to erase are thriving outside the system. They're stacking real money, building loyal fan bases, and creating careers that actually last, all without begging for industry approval. The only thing they don't have is the massive marketing machine behind them. But what they've gained is independence, control, and a direct connection with their audience that no gatekeeper can take away. Even without the machine behind them, their music still hits deep. Their message cuts through the noise, their authenticity pulls in loyal supporters, and their presence stays strong. No industry push required. While labels throw massive budgets at compromised artists to keep their faces everywhere, independent musicians are out here quietly stacking real wins.
twice a year, whatever. But if it's not $1 million budget being spent on marketing and radio and ads and posters and, brainwashing you to know, hey, this album is out, here's a billboard over here, then it's gonna look like you're not doing nothing. But like I say, success is subjective, you know what I mean? So we still working, you know what I'm saying? Paul's still touring. I just did a show with him. He brought me out as a special guest. He got a deal with Paul, my son. He's liquor deals and shit like that. Chameleonaire doing the text, Slim still living great, doing shows. Rose still living great, I'm doing shows, making albums. Key got a podcast, Legend Talk, you know what I'm saying? He's still great, doing shows. Everybody elevating. Young Star, you know what I mean? I brought him out to Carbach on 713 Day. Like, we still out here working, holding it down, for Big Pokey, for all the legends. So we just still working, man. It's just not millions of dollars being spent on marketing no more. We back independent. So, we got our core fan base and they go book us and with us regardless. So
building solid careers off genuine connections with the people who truly believe in them. And that raises the ultimate question. If success is clearly possible without giving up your integrity, why do so many still choose the dark path? The truth is, the ones who refuse to bend have tapped into something powerful, a real road to success that doesn't involve selling out their humanity. Lil Flip broke down the industry's biggest myth, the idea that mainstream visibility automatically equals success. It's not true. While the compromised ones chase TV spots, radio spins, and award show appearances, the authentic ones are busy building something way more valuable, direct relationships with actual fans. The real secret? They bypass the gatekeepers altogether. No more begging executives for approval. No shady middlemen. No compromising their identity for a seat at someone else's table. Instead, they go straight to the people.
I feel like I get the respect from the people who matters most to me. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes with aligning yourself with certain people. And if this person is managing you, they'll get you these kind of looks and this will make you look like you're bigger than somebody else. You know what I mean? Because your manager is getting you these kind of looks. But at the end of the day, success is, subjective. Nobody sees what happens with my life every day behind the scenes. Some people are brainwashed to, hey, if you ain't on the radio like you used to be or on TV like you used to be, you fell off. That's the average mind. But then people that understand and overstand and cloverstand business, they'll get what success means. Like, so for me, man, I'm always out and about. running into people, taking pictures with fans, signing autographs, people. I just left talking. What was the unit? The old Ramsey unit? Stringfellow, now is what they call it. We just left Stringfellow unit, talking to the prisoners. I performed. Shout out to Mike Prince, you know what I'm saying? Rapper Love Mob Ties, that's fam. So yeah, we just went to talk to the prisoners, and man, we made their day. We performed, man. They still believe in God. Some of them performed. I seen some people that I knew that I ain't seen in 20 years. You know what I mean? So, and I got my respect from God. I got my respect from my family, respect from my hood, respect from my city, and in the world. You know, I travel, man. I be everywhere, man. So for me, the respect that I get, long as it's coming from people that really respect me, that's really all I care about. The people that are brainwashed or they're sheep and they just follow trends, you know what I mean? You know, I ain't for everybody, you know what I'm saying? So who respect me, man, listen, that's where it matter the most. So I don't think about it outside of that.
I just think, me personally, your name should come up more. But, you know, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I chose not to indulge in the weirdo shit that's going on in this industry. So when you still believe in God, man, and you ain't compromising your morals, I'm not selling my soul for no fame. I ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep God in everything I do. Sometimes they try to make a path longer or harder for you, but I deal with the consumer. You know what I mean? So, and that I practice great customer service and they're very satisfied.
The listeners, and build from the ground up. This takes something the modern industry rarely encourages: real loyalty to fans, genuine connection rooted in shared values, and music that reflects actual lived experiences instead of manufactured personas. And here's the real difference between artists who last and those who fade fast: customer service and fan engagement. While industry darlings often get big egos and lose touch with their audience, independent artists stay humble, reachable, and connected. That bond is what keeps them alive long after the hype fades. The result of this independent path? Longevity. Real careers built on solid ground, not just temporary hype cycles that vanish after a viral moment. These are the artists who can keep touring for decades because their fans don't just love their songs.
Having the same number, man, since high school. Like, I'm still dealing with the promoters and talking to them, the artists, the people I done did songs with all over this world, man. I see them, you know, I give them copies of my book, I give them game, I mentor them, and then when I bump back into them, they be like, man, we read your book, we applied what you put in your book, and I'm booking shows now. So that's who I really care about, because a lot of people that's at the top, man, they don't care. They culture vultures. They don't care what's going on in the community like that. They just want their money. I care about my community. So that's why I make sure I'm out and about helping people, you know, looking out for people. I did a verse for a guy yesterday.
They respect them as people. But if this approach works so well, why don't you hear about these successful independent artists more often? The answer uncovers one of the industry's darkest secrets. The truth is, the industry deliberately buries positive, conscious artists while elevating destructive ones. And no, it's not by accident. It's calculated. Think about the artists who get the massive promotion, the ones glorifying violence, disrespecting women, hyping up substance culture, and pushing materialism like it's the only way to live. Meanwhile, artists with real messages, those talking about family, community, spiritual growth, and self-respect, get pushed to the shadows. That's not a coincidence. That's social engineering disguised as entertainment. They know exactly what they're doing. They flood the airwaves with toxic content to make destructive behavior feel normal, while uplifting messages are treated like rare exceptions. Positive artists get hit with limited radio play, barely any streaming promotion, and almost zero mainstream media coverage. Their existence gets reduced to a whisper, while the loudest mics go to the ones who play the game. And those who've compromised, they get endless marketing budgets, constant exposure, and platforms built to keep their names everywhere.
These dudes ain't never been to jail. You ain't got to worry about, oh, we might sign him and he might go to jail and we can't even put no music out. These dudes ain't never been in no shootouts or nothing like that. Why would the industry not want more of that? Think about it. Think about it.
You right, man. That's a real talk, yo.
Come on, man. You mean to tell me you not a headache? And you still gonna make buku bread for us and for yourself and just like everything is all good? Like people entertained by you, they love you, da-da-da. You mean to tell me they wouldn't be like, man, we need more of that? But come on, bro. Come on, bro. Every year, they're like, yo, who is the new street rapper that need to get signed and get pushed out there. Not in one city, but in every major city. Every year, it's like, man, who is the new street rapper that we could sign that's gonna impact the masses in their city, and we gonna blow them up, and they young, so they don't realize that they being used right now. You heard me?
This manipulation isn't just about money. It's about control. They want young audiences to internalize chaos as culture, to accept self-destructive behavior as entertainment. Meanwhile, conscious artists are everywhere, working hard, creating impactful music, but the machine keeps their voices muted to make it seem like integrity can't survive in this business. It's a lie, a profitable lie. And now, you know what Lil Flip and D1 risked their careers to expose. The music industry isn't just corrupt, it's actively pushing an agenda. It targets desperate artists with degrading proposals and then silences the ones who refuse to play along. So ask yourself this: if 99% of industry people are fake, how many of your favorite stars took deals that cost them more than money? How many traded integrity for exposure? With your streams and views helping keep that system alive. This is the moment to think carefully. Every stream, every view, every purchase is a vote for the kind of music industry you want to exist. Do you keep supporting a machine that rewards compromise and buries real artistry, or do you help uplift those who stay true? The choice is in your hands. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take on this. If this opens your eyes, like the video, hit that subscribe button and share it so more people can see what's really happening behind the curtain. Let's keep the conversation alive and keep it real.